What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about some breaking news, at least at the time I'm recording this video. Voice actors are going on strike in the gaming industry. Now, there's a couple specifics of who this is going to directly impact, but this is happening as of tonight at midnight. They'll have to work out a new deal going forward. Otherwise, you cannot hire any union members to do voice work. This has happened before, and one of the bigger examples that at least I recall, a game up my alley in Life is Strange, right? Life is Strange Before the Storm had Chloe Price from the first game. Ashley Birch was a member of the union. They were doing the strike during that time. They had to actually cast another voice for Chloe for that game because of that situation. That did happen, and that's something, we should talk a little bit more about in this video. But first, let's read the statement. There's an official statement. It goes over who is actually impacted, and big names, honestly, some pretty big names. So they basically say, again, the voice actors are going on strike effective as of tonight, or July 26th at 12:01 a.m. Today's vote to strike comes after more than a year and a half of negotiations without a deal. Then they say who this impacts, and again, some pretty big names: Activision, Disney, EA, Formosa, Insomniac, Llama Productions, Take-Two Productions, VoiceWork Productions, and WB Games. Any game looking to employ them to perform covered work must sign on a new tiered budget. So again, they have to sign basically a different deal. And these agreements offer critical AI protections for members. Negotiations began in October of 2022, and on September 24, 2023, they approved the video game strike with a 98.32% yes vote. Although agreements have been reached on many issues, the employers refuse to plainly affirm in clear and enforceable language that they will protect all performers covered by this contract in their AI language. So there you go. I mean, some huge names. I mean, they said the part out loud, right? It's like if you have agreements on all of these things, like so much of it is already done. It's just on AI that's the sticking point. Look, I get it. Like, technology is advancing, and they want to try all these new things. And it's scary because, we've just gotten articles. There were articles a few days ago, right? I think, was it Variety or Verge or something, where they broke that things like Blizzard and Activision, some of these, they're using AI, and sometimes they're using it kind of in a sneaky way to get AI into games. They're selling skins that are produced by AI. I'm not a fan. I've long said when it comes to AI in the game development side, if you want to use it as a tool to help you, I'm for it. I think AI can be used to make games quicker, enhance them in certain ways, but not at the cost of losing jobs, not at the cost of replacing humans that do good work, at least if they do good work. If they're terrible and all they do is make terrible games, then you got to figure something out. But no, I mean, like, AI has a place, but you got to be careful with it. When it comes to performances, I feel like it's kind of cut and dry with me. Now, I'm not going to stand here or sit here and pretend like I'm a voice actor, but I feel like they should be protected. I feel like there should be no shenanigans with, because sometimes in Hollywood, right, if you do a movie, they have your voice, so they could use your voice like however you want. I mean, I just don't understand why that's a thing. I really think, it's a way, I guess, of getting out of paying them like extra money if they want to do, say, like a Universal thing or a Disney thing. Maybe you don't have to pay them if you just have their voice. You don't need it, right? You use AI and you can kind of construct it. I mean, cool technology, I guess, but but you shouldn't be doing that. So for me, this is a pretty simple issue. Like, if you care about where I stand on it, like, let the voice actors, let the market speak for itself. Like, if there's terrible voice actors, right, and certain situations appear, then you just, you don't hire them or whatever. They have to get better at their craft. But, let them be the voice actors. You don't need AI to kind of help them out. So I'm pretty opposed to it as well. I feel like it's kind of cut and dry. I mean, I guess we can all kind of understand or get. Well, we can understand it. We could just not agree with it, right? I think we get what the executives, the other side is trying to do. Like, it's kind of a smart plan, but it's not going over well. It's obviously not going to work. You're not going to get an agreement made here. So that's the one part. The other part is who this impacts. I mean, some of them are ones that I don't even know who they are, to be honest with you, but Activision, that's pretty big. Disney scares me because of like for Square Enix, and if you're doing Kingdom Hearts, and if you're getting the voices of Mickey, Donald, Goofy, any other Disney character, you have to go through that process. I'm pretty sure that would, I don't know 100%, but I'm almost guaranteed in my head that would impact it. EA, what do you want to say for EA? Jedi, or just any EA. EA makes a lot of games. EA, by the way, owns BioWare, so like Dragon Age better be fully recorded. Mass Effect, obviously, you're gonna slow that down. WB Games, that's a great one, isn't it? So I guess you can add on another year or so to Wonder Woman. But I will say a couple of things, right? Those are huge names. They make me scared for several games. It's not like work has to completely stop. And I'm not trying to side with like, oh, well, just let the executives like have them play it out. But I will say from like the consumer side of things, like if you're saying, well, Alex, what happens to like XYZ game? My assumption right now would be you work on anything else except for that. You can write, you can even do like the performance. Actually, I don't know about that. Doing the performance capture might also be like under that rate, but you can write it all out. You just can't have them record it. Will that still slow it down? I think it would. I think it's not going to be great for games like Wolverine, I said like Mass Effect, Wonder Woman, games that are probably 1 to 2 to 3 years out. Like they're in the middle of these processes, you know what I mean? Like that's a big deal. A game like say Dragon Age, which would fall under EA, you hope that it's done, but sometimes this voice work stuff goes to the last minute. Like you could be doing Dragon Age lines till October, and then it comes out in November. So, you wouldn't have that. And does that mean you delay the game, or does that mean you just don't get that perfect re-recording that you were looking for? It's a tough situation. May I suggest just getting this solved like within a day or two? And that's something, it went longer in the past. I think, like I mentioned with Life is Strange, like this hasn't been resolved in like a day or two in the past. So like this might take some time. Hopefully it only takes like a few weeks, because I really don't think this should bleed into the fall or heaven forbid going into like 2025. That would not be good whatsoever. You'd be slowing down a lot. So if, for the Wolverine fans, I would worry a little bit. For Mass Effect, for maybe Kingdom Hearts, for Wonder Woman, I'm trying to think of like some of the bigger ones, right, for some of these studios. Yeah, I would be a little concerned at this point. But, again, like trying to separate these two factors, right? Like I love games. I want games to come out. I don't want this to happen, but not to dismiss what they're fighting for. I feel like it's rather easy. Just like leave AI generally out of it, or like consent. Like, isn't that a thing we do nowadays, right? Where it's like I'm always one for like freedom of choice, right? Like if you want something, or you have the right to want, or to say, or to debate, or whatever. If you're a voice actor and they want to use your voice, say for like 5 years or maybe for life or whatever, like you need the consent of the person. There should be some sort of contract where you get residual, pay for it. I'm sure some of this stuff probably already exists in some places, but I really don't think it would be that difficult. But again, what do I know? I'm technically not there, but this is a big deal. This is a very big deal. This doesn't happen every day. This doesn't happen even every year. And as that said, we've been talking about this, like, we knew that this was possible. I think there was like 3-4 times where this kind of popped up, where it's like, hey, the strike is very likely, or at least it's very possible to happen. And here we are to it actually happening. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on. I hope to see you all on the next one.